I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. You know, Donald Trump and his adult children, who are the leaders of the current Republican Party, which is simply the MAGA Republican cult party of the modern era, say the most deranged and sadistic things every day. But I have to say, what Donald Trump Jr. just posted about Paul Pelosi, who was grievously injured after a home invasion by a MAGA extremist who tried to kill him and tried to kill Nancy Pelosi. She was not there. She was in Washington, D.C. with her security detail. But what Donald Trump Jr. posted about Paul Pelosi is beyond disgusting. Let me just show you what he posted. And this is from his Instagram account. And he also posted again on Twitter. But this is what he put on his Instagram account. He goes, "Got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready." And it's a photo of underwear and a hammer spreading the debunked MAGA extremist conspiracy theory that Paul Pelosi was engaged in a relationship with the assailant, and that's why the assailant was there, which was completely false. You had a radicalized MAGA extremist show up, and we now know from the affidavit filed by the FBI in connection with the Department of Justice's federal criminal charges that this individual, this MAGA extremist named David DePape, specifically said that he was looking for Nancy Pelosi because she was the leader of the Democrats, and he wanted to knock her knees out with a hammer so she would have to be wheeled around and it would send a message to other Democrats. This David DePape has posted all of these other images and videos consistent with the same type of posts that we see from MAGA extremists. And after all of that, after all that we know, especially with David DePape confessing how he broke into the house, how he smashed through the window, how he went up and found Paul Pelosi, looking for Nancy Pelosi, was waiting for Nancy Pelosi. We know all of those facts. And one of the leaders of the Republican Party, literally, maybe other than Donald Trump, the second highest or third highest ranking leader, we go, oh, no, he's not. He is. Look at what the polls say. Donald Trump Jr. is one of the people who Republicans today look up to as a leader. And this is what he says: "Got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready." You are literally mocking the husband of the Speaker of the House, both who were subject to assassination attempts. Paul Pelosi, who is grievously injured in an ICU wing of a San Francisco hospital, fighting for his life. You mock it. You make jokes about it. You try to normalize the conspiracy. It is beyond despicable that this is coming from anyone, yet alone someone who's supposed to be a leader of the Republican Party. And it pains me to even say that you could be in a leadership position, but how despicable and disgusting can you be? And then on Twitter, you write, I guess, to the individual who you stole that meme from, someone named Steve, whatever. You wrote, "The internet remains undefeated. Also, if you switch out the hammer for a red feather boa, you could be Hunter Biden in an instant." People, this is not about Democrats and Republicans and what political ideology you have. This is a extremist group that is provoking, mocking, that is inciting violence, mocking the victims of violence consistently. This behavior cannot be tolerated here and should not be tolerated anywhere else. And if you think this is funny, if you were home and someone invaded your house and almost killed you and almost killed your spouse, and then your neighbor posted mocking the situation, cheering on the situation, provoking the situation in the first place, this is not funny. If you think this is funny, there is a real problem with you. And that's the thing too. When you see these photos of these MAGA extremists, when you see these photos and these videos of these MAGA leaders, you can literally see the hate in their heart. Look, you just compare a Trump rally to one of the recent rallies that Obama held in Wisconsin, in Georgia, in Michigan. On one hand, talking about how we can help people, how we can give people more rights, how we could treat all people with dignity and help people get higher wages and have more benefits, focusing on how we make education more accessible, how we make healthcare more affordable, how could we really help Americans. On the other hand, you got these MAGA rallies just xenophobic, racist, attacking people, mocking people. It's a movement that is built on hate. And when I see a post like this, when I see multiple posts like this, after the Speaker of the House was the intended target of an assassination attempt, and her husband was hit on the head and bludgeoned with a weapon and is in ICU, for you not to say, I'm thinking about you. This is not about politics. We wish you a speedy recovery. Some of the most basic of things that you can say. You further post conspiracies and you further post Hunter Biden. What are you even talking about? The hate in the heart of MAGA. The hate in the heart of the MAGA leadership. It's something that is just so sad. We live in such a beautiful country. We live in such an incredible place, a place that we could always improve, a place that we've always strived to be better. No one said we were perfect in the past, but we've always strived to be better. We love this great country. Yet, this hate, this sowing of division, so much so that when we have something like this takes place, this is what Donald Trump Jr. does. And here's another one of his posts. He goes, ban all hammers. And then it's a meme of a hammer that says, open carry in San Francisco. I mean, what other than trolling Democrats after targeting them with political violence, other than supporting a QAnon cult, quite literally, after the attack on Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump posted on his social media platform, Don Jr.'s dad posted literally a photo of himself that says, where we go one, we go all, the QAnon slogan. Here, we'll pull it up. I'll show you what he posted just so you can see it. That's what Donald Trump posted right after the attack and the assault on Nancy Pelosi. After inciting and provoking this extremism, this terrorism, I don't know how else to say it. If you don't believe that posting photos like this and posting stuff like that, what Donald Trump Jr. is posting is stoking that, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. That's just a fact. That is what is occurring here. But the fact that there's just such hate in the heart versus what we could do if we built bridges to try to make this country better, to try to fight for our freedoms of people, and to fight for better benefits for workers, and to fight for healthcare, and to fight for education, the real things, not fighting against our fellow Americans. And as you look at this meme, open carry in San Francisco, whatever this meme is, what you're now mocking responsible gun ownership. So you are, in a series of tweets, you're spreading a conspiracy about Paul Pelosi, which has been utterly debunked, who, after he was a victim of a terrorist attack on him by a radicalized extremist whose ideology is consistent with the types of posts that we see on MAGA. So after that occurring, you post the underwear and hammer photo, and at the same time, you then mock responsible gun ownership by having open carry in San Francisco with a hammer, because that's funny too to you. It's funny to you that There are people in this country, overwhelmingly more than 70% of this country, and it should be more, but over 70% of this country believes that there should be responsible gun ownership so that weapons of war shouldn't be able to proliferate to irresponsible people who have no experience, who then use those weapons of war to start shootouts in schools and to shoot up schools and other public spaces. Like, we're tying that all together. That's Republicans meme hate. That is your agenda. While Democrats are trying to solve problems, the Republican agenda is just to meme hate, meme inciting violence. That's what a political party stands for in the United States of America. You kidding me? Just really sad to see, but exhausted majority, the majority of Americans, while they meme, while they do whatever the hell they're doing, we need to vote. We need to focus on mobilizing and getting voters out. It's just that simple. They can meme, they can troll. I don't see them out there talking about voting. All I see is Democrats, independents, and former Republicans, a coalition of people who realize what's at stake. We're talking about voting right now. So channel the anger, channel the frustration, channel everything we talked about, and vote. And make sure you get your family to vote. Make sure you get your friends to vote blue. Make sure you get coworkers and colleagues, and you call people up, because people have analyzed this. There is a lot of different ways people think, how you persuade people to vote and all. The most important thing is direct contact from people who you trust and people who trust you. So contact whoever it is that you know and trust, and let them know what's at stake. Share these videos. Let them know the difference that exists between a party that is the Democratic Party, supports democracy, that is trying to come up with solutions to help Americans, that is actually working on the business that is trying to improve lives. And on the other hand, you have MAGA Republicans who are memeing hate as their political ideology. That's all they do. What do they stand for? Nothing but hate. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button now. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers. It's free to subscribe, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. There's a number of exclusive membership tiers there. Join one of them. There's great exclusive content there, extra podcasts, behind-the-scenes footage, exclusive merch. Some packages you can become a producer of the MeidasTouch podcast, an honorary producer, and your name will show up. Check it out. But most importantly, help this platform grow. We're not funded by any millionaires or billionaires or any outside investors at all. So we're purely fueled by you. So if you can, no matter where you are in the world, check out patreon.com/MeidasTouch and see if you can help. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas.
This November is Rowvember. MeidasTouch just released its brand new collection of Rowvember t-shirts and pins to let the country know what's at stake this upcoming midterm election. Go to store.MeidasTouch.com to grab yours. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.